Am I the asshole for shutting down my sister's opinion about our baby name? Throw away because I'm using real names. Okay, here's the situation. I, 25 male, am expecting a daughter in November with my fiancée Claire. My name is Cody, so we'd like to keep the C theme going. If we have a boy later, he'll be Charles after Claire's grandpa. My fiancée and me really like the name Keely, but we're spelling it Seely or Cheely with a hard C to keep the theme. The problem is my sister Angie, 28 female. She's child-free, but she's still very opinionated and judgmental about names. She strongly prefers traditional common names like Emma and Madeline, and she's been very pissy about the name we picked. Last weekend, we went to her and her boyfriend's place for Memorial Day, and she took my fiancée Claire aside, supposedly to help cut vegetables. Actually, Angie just wanted to rip into my fiancé with her name opinions. She said we should forget about Cheely. She said she'd already talked it over with our mom, Claire's mother-in-law, and they decided that we should go with Catherine/Caddy instead. Claire, of course, said hell no to that and called me. I came in, and I told Angie we needed to go. In the car home, we called my mom, but she wouldn't admit to agreeing with Angie about belting the name. I don't think my family has veto power. It's our choice as a couple, and they should mind your own business. However, Angie has Asperger's, and she's the person in the family who says what everyone's thinking, but no one will say. If multiple people in the family hate this name, I worry that the negative vibe will impact our daughter. Am I the asshole, or are we the assholes, for not taking family feedback into consideration? Please, please don't name a child Cheely. Having to change my judgment to everyone sucks here now, because in fact OP is also an asshole for wanting to name his child this. You're the asshole. Cheely is a stupid name. You get to pick your kid's name, but why would you set up that child for bullying? Picture that name on a resume. It's ridiculous. Not the asshole for the name situation. It's no one else's business. But you will be the asshole if you saddle your child with a name that pretends that phonics work however you want them to work. I'm going to be honest, the first time I read this post, I literally thought of vegetable chili when I saw the name. This reminded me of a news story from a couple of years ago when someone named their daughter Absidy, which is spelled literally with the alphabets A, B, C, D, E. Yes, if both parents are fine with the name, then it should be no one else's business. But with such an absurd name, you can bet it's going to leave the child open to constant questions about pronunciation and spelling pretty much until the day she dies. So please think twice before naming your child Cheely or Seely. Am I the asshole for cutting the line and stealing the handicap stall from a disabled person? I'm not kidding. On Friday, I was shopping at this Ranch 99 store, and it has like restaurants in it. I've been having some stomach aches, but not sure why. Thought maybe it was my period soon. It's an Asian shop, and it was also Autumn Moon Festival, so it was crowded. Suddenly, I had to go. I left everything in a cart in the aisle and ran for the bathroom. There was a decent-sized line, but I just ran forward and cut in front of everyone. There was an elderly woman who was about to make her way to the handicapped stall, but I rushed forward, blurted out, "I'm sorry, I really need to go." She tried to protest, along with other people in line, but I disregarded them and ran in and locked the door. It was followed by explosive diarrhea that was very audible to everyone. The grandma and all the other guests were hurling insults at me for being disrespectful and saying I was horrible for cutting in line, but honestly, it felt like an emergency. Was I an asshole for cutting all the people in line to the bathroom and essentially stealing the stall from the grandma? No assholes here. You're not an asshole for doing what you had to in an emergency to avoid shitting your pants. They're not assholes for being pissed as you for cutting the line. I think we can all agree that the real asshole in this story is your asshole. This is just one of those crappy emergency situations where you can only make a decision in the heat of the moment. No one wins. There's definitely no assholes here. I'd honestly do the same thing if I was OP. Would rather much prefer getting insulted at than shitting my pants in public. Am I the asshole for telling my wife nobody cares about her small business? My wife, 27 female, owns an Etsy shop where she sells handmade jewelry. She has some real talent, and the jewelry she sells is genuinely very nice and high quality. She gets a surprising amount of sales on there too and has great reviews. The issue is that everywhere we go, Every conversation she has, she slips in something about her shop and tries to promote it. Talking to a friend? She'll casually mention a big sale she made or a custom order she got, and not very subtly mention that she'd give her friend a coupon or something similar. Talking to our waiter? She'll mention that she has a pair of earrings on her shop that would complement their eyes. Talking to someone online? She'll somehow manage to say, as the owner of a small business. She literally cannot have a conversation anywhere with anyone without trying to sell them her jewelry. The other day was a family member's birthday, and they were having a decently sized get-together with just other family members and a few close friends. I went with my wife, and she's a pretty social person even outside of promoting her shop, so she was quickly making conversation with my family. Of course, not 5 minutes later, she was showing someone the bracelet she had on that she made, and mentioning that she sells them, and talking about how, since they were family, she would happily give them a 25% discount. She probably had that exact same conversation with at least 5 people during the 2 hours we were there. As soon as we left, I spoke to her and said she needs to quit doing that. I told her if people were actually interested, they would ask her about her store. But not every single person she talks to wants or needs to hear about her art. She got upset and said that she just wants to spread her product and doesn't see what she's doing wrong and hasn't spoken to me much since. I feel like I'm the asshole since I will admit I had a pretty harsh tone and could have been a lot nicer during that conversation. Plus, I get she's just trying to sell her products, even if it gets obnoxious. Am I the asshole? There's middle ground here, but I'm going with you're the asshole because of your delivery. I can see, however, that the two of you probably need to have a no business hats night where the focus is on each other. Maybe bring that up gently after apologizing to her for being the asshole here. Not the asshole, and I would actually go out of my way to avoid her. I hate pushy salespeople. She can promote her jewelry on Instagram or even set up a special Facebook page and invite people to join. But every conversation, that's a no from me. Technically, she hasn't done anything wrong, but I also understand with OP's perspective. In this scenario, it seems like OP may need to take on the role of the bad guy and have a conversation with her about toning down the promotion of her business. When every conversation revolves around selling things, it can come across as tone-deaf and insensitive. As OP mentioned, it's important for him to acknowledge his harsh delivery, maybe start off apologizing and then address the issue of excessive promotion. Am I the asshole for not feeling comfortable with the fact that my brother gave my wife a $3,000 necklace as her birthday gift? I, 27 male, have been married to my wife, 26 female, for little over a year. Last week, it was my wife's birthday, and she received a $3,000 diamond necklace from my brother, 30 male. I was pretty weirded out by this, as even though my brother is far from poor, he's not the type to gift anyone thousands of dollars gifts, and he especially never gave my wife something as expensive as this. My wife shrugged it off as it was nothing, and my brother was just feeling generous. Here's where I might be the asshole. I still felt uneasy about the gift, and so I ended up bringing it up to my brother's wife, 30 female, and she lost on him. Apparently, she never agreed to my brother gifting another woman such an expensive gift. Now both my brother and my wife are mad at me. My brother for creating problems in his marriage, and my wife who thinks I only blabbed about my brother's gift for her to my sister-in-law just because I'm insecure my own birthday gift for her wasn't as expensive. I paid for a full spa day for her, which she really liked, but it indeed wasn't as expensive as my brother's necklace, and who also thinks that sister-in-law is overreacting as she herself received a lot of expensive jewelry from my brother. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your brother and your wife are dancing horizontally. They think you're too dumb to notice, and they thought they would be able to get away with being blatant about their relationship. You don't upstage a husband by giving his wife a $3,000 necklace. That's odd behavior. Wow, this is a really messy situation with so many red flags. Firstly, the fact that the sister-in-law was unaware of the gift, coupled with the wife's nonchalant attitude towards a $3,000 necklace, and the brother getting mad and blaming OP. Even if the brother feels generous about gifting an expensive necklace, it would at least been more appropriate for the brother to discuss the gift with his wife beforehand and inform OP about it. Usually I hate jumping to conclusions, but there's definitely a lot more going on between those two. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and feel free to share your opinions in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time.